Welcome to Everything Currency. You guys, today I got a very exciting interview for you guys. One of my favorite people to follow in the Luxo community. Now, you guys know that I've been following Luxo all the way since 2020. Actually, September of 2020 to be exact is when I did my first Luxo video. But now things are starting to pop off in this Luxo ecosystem. We're like one big family now. And so I'm here to talk to you guys, about what's going on with Luxo with my brother Beef. What's going on, Beef? How's it going?
Hey, what's up, my guy? Hey, everybody. I'm Beef. I'm the Keys Marketing Operations lead. I'm the co-host of the Luxo Fam podcast. I'm a co-founder of LUX. We just minted out our Genesis collection on Universal Page. Overall, I'm a Luxo reply guy, and you can find me repping Chill Whales and Upturn lately. What's going on?
What's going on? So let's talk a little bit about, before we start deep diving into Luxo itself, let's just talk a little bit about what you guys got going on, because there's a bunch of good resources that you guys are putting out at the Keys. Just following you guys on Twitter is like a huge resource for anybody like in this community right now. So first, I want to say thank you for that. And secondly, like tell everybody a little bit about Keys DAO.
Yeah, man, appreciate that for sure. So Keys is focused on fostering growth in the Luxo ecosystem. So pretty much, there's a core group of us. Shout out a few of them, or sorry if I forget anybody, but you all are equally as loved in my heart. Ethelorian, Alts Anonymous, Yellow Turtle, Sage, Rob G, Mints, Annie. I think I got the big ones, but yeah, so pretty much we come out with content on the daily, whether it be written via our Twitter or on our YouTubes. We make shorts, and then we have every Friday, actually it's happening right now, is our wrap up live stream by ETH and Alts and Rob G. So yeah, we're just constantly pumping out community materials so that people can get caught up on the latest news, and then kind of teaching people, informing people about the standards of Luxo and kind of why Luxo is the next evolution, we believe, of blockchain and of true identity, and how it solves those problems. So yeah, we're just really excited about the chain, and we're just a group that sees the value in it and sees that this is what we believe the next step, and we just want to share that.
Nice, nice. So how long have you been a Luxo holder or a Luxo enthusiast? How long have you been involved with this community?
Yeah, so I personally did not participate in the reversible ICO, which is again another super cool thing that Luxo did that's specific to Luxo.
Mm-hmm.
But I did hop on and grab some via Uniswap shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been what, 2.5 years, maybe? It's been a while, but lots happened in the past, I'd
Yeah,
say year. And yeah, it's finally moving, finally going. Activities on chain this past week, and it's been awesome.
yeah, enjoying the on-chain activities for sure. I'm not gonna lie, I was having some issues, but I'm still excited about everything that's going on. Like we were talking about, it's the growing pains of the network. It's still, universal profiles in general is like what we use. For those who don't know, we use something called universal profiles, and it's still in beta, isn't it?
It is in beta, and yes, there are some bugs, but like you said, it's growing pains, and the team's aware and they're working on solutions. But overall, I'm super happy. I'll take the activity on chain, and then we can fix these bugs.
Yeah, for sure. Overall, I'm super stoked. So, like everyone on the channel has been hearing me talk about like what is Luxo in my words. I want you to see if you could, sum it up for the people, maybe, real quick, like what is Luxo, and
Sure.
kind of like why you're bullish on it, I guess would kind of go along with that.
Yeah, it's really hard to give like a super short elevator pitch of Luxo because
Yeah.
there's just so many different facets that I'm excited about. But I guess like if I had to break down some of the things that like make Luxo different or like excite me about it,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would say universal profiles first and foremost. It's like doing away with the standard single EOA wallet, so like a MetaMask, and the dependency on like a seed phrase, and then having that constant threat that potentially you'd lose access to that wallet. And what Universal Profiles offers is it will have customized security options. So like 2FA, social recovery is going to come soon. You can use the combo with like a ledger. You could even use a multi-sig. And what's like special about Luxo compared to other smart contract wallets is like that you can add these or remove these as you see fit without having to start a whole new wallet. So like Argent and like some of those other competitors for like
Mhm.
wallet smart contract wallets, you'd have to start a whole new one if you wanted to implement a new feature. But Luxo, you'll have that capability to customize. So you won't have that like threat, that overlooming threat of losing your wallet and losing your on-chain identity. And that's truly like a big step into having like a congruent, lasting identity. Um, so that's one thing. And then the next thing I would say is the ability to have your gas paid for by someone else. Currently, early users.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on. Like when they smooth this experience out a little bit, because there is a little hiccup right now with the gas relayer. Doesn't work all the time, but the team's aware and working on it. Um, it's going to change the game for sure because like you're not going to have to worry about gas and doing transactions. That's kind of half the battle, you know.
Yeah,
Um, and
definitely.
then once, yeah, definitely. And then once like the foundation's subsidized funds are run out for that public relayer, there'll be other like businesses and people who will launch their own and kind of like a cell phone plan. People will be able to pay into
Mm-hmm.
it, and there'll be people who use a lot of gas, and there'll be people who use a little gas, and that's how it'll buffer. Um, and also, Dapps will be able to launch their own relayers. So it
Yeah.
doesn't even, you can have that combo. It's pretty sick. So those are like two big things right off the bat that really excite me without getting in the weeds just yet.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool because I know there's really some things being worked on ETH where they're saying, hey, like, what if you can just, pay like a lump sum monthly payment for gas and then you can use the blockchain instead of, the way it is right now. So it's good to see that it's built directly into Luxo, but not only that, like you have different options, and I think options is like, having that competition out there actually helps it out for the users on that end. So tell us about your mint. I didn't even ask you about that before. Tell us about the mint.
Yeah. So, I mean, so my co-founder, Mints, you can find him. I think his name is Luxo Mints, or I'm sure I'll tag him after you post this video. I'm not sure what his handle is right off the bat, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, we wanted to bring something to the community that we were proud of, and we ended up creating 10 one of ones Lux bots, and they actually sold out within like I don't know, what felt like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So
I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. Like, I didn't even try. I was like, dang, only 10.
yeah, well, we
It
wanted
went kind
these
of
to
quick.
be culturally relevant in our ecosystem and kind of like a cornerstone.
Mhm.
So we're big on under promising and over delivering. So, you know, that's where I'll leave it at that. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, nice, nice. Well, yeah, congrats on that because those are actually pretty cool too.
Yeah,
So let's
appreciate
let's get into something that I know we're both excited about, and something that I know actually everybody's excited about is projects, coming to Luxo, being built on Luxo. Um, Now, before we get into some of the hackathon projects, because there was a bunch of projects that pretty nice on there, is there anything that you know of that's coming out on Luxo that excites you?
Yes. You don't want me to talk about hackathon projects though?
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk about hackathon
Oh,
projects. I
okay.
was just thinking if you knew anything outside of the hackathon projects, but
I mean,
anything matters.
yeah, I didn't really think about. Give me a second. Let me think for a second. Do I know anything outside of the hackathon projects? I mean, yeah, but nothing I can really say. Um,
Yeah, I
I
agree because there was some good
yeah.
stuff in the hackathon projects. Some of the other things that I was really excited about that was outside the hackathon projects would be like the NFTs, like the chill whales, and then the one that was minted today with the Genesis mint key. were some pretty exciting mints for me. Um, but the hackathon had, a bunch of projects that are working hard right now, getting ready to launch. And I think there was 18 winners, correct?
I'm not sure
Is
about the number of winners, but yeah, there were
Yeah, I
there
think
were a
there was
number of
18.
winners. Yeah, some super cool stuff. I don't know if your viewers have had the time to check that out, uh, but I had a couple that really excited me. You want me to talk about those?
Yeah, yeah. Let's go into those and then I guess just, pretend like nobody's heard of it. And then we'll go
Yeah,
for them.
sure. So I kind of reviewed the latest build up #2 hackathon. So this is like Luxo's third overall hackathon. Some pretty cool stuff came out in the first two. So definitely look into those if you're curious. But this latest round brought forth some really cool ideas. There's a couple that I just want to highlight that I think are also kind of game changers.
Mhm.
So the first one is called Universal Grave. It acts on the LSP1, I believe, which is the Universal Receiver Delegate.
Mhm.
And what it can do is it can stop different NFTs that you like don't want to get like received in your wallet from ever entering your wallet. And it'll kind of hold them in this like um, I guess, waiting zone where you can decide their fate. So you can either like
Mm.
implement a smart contract to like automatically sell them if they have a price, or you can just block them, which you can't do on Ethereum. How often do you like check out your OpenSea profile or whatever, and then you see all these like stupid NFTs that
Hmm.
somebody's trying to scam you with? I mean,
Yeah,
having
that
the
was
ability.
yeah, that's actually a good one because that was one of my favorite projects too because I was like, yo, I have a lot of scam NFTs in there. I have a bunch of NFTs that are just like I don't even know what they are. It's like just dialogue down like in an NFT, and I'm like, what is this? And you know, I put it in my hidden folder, but then like that folder should be for NFTs that I just want to hide. It shouldn't be for junk.
No, I completely agree. How many people do you know like who are like, oh, this has an offer on it, I'm gonna sell it, and then something terrible happens, you know?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so this is definitely a good thing that Luxo kind of enables this ability. So I truly think that's a game changing project. I'm very interested to see them build it out a little bit more now that they've got funding because they did win a prize, and then deploy that baby because I am for sure going to use it.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then another one that really excited me was called Defolio. And what was cool about this one was it really utilized the LSPs and kind of showed some of the functionalities in a really clean UI to the user. So, like, for example, they had a key management screen. So it kind of allows specific permissions to different controllers on your account. So, like,
Mhm.
permissions to do certain things, and then it kind of explains what each of these permissions do so that you can kind of toggle them if you wanted to get custom and like restrict certain things. So that's pretty awesome. The
Yeah.
days of connecting your wallet and then not truly knowing what they have access to will be a thing of the past based on these LSPs that Luxo has. um, Another cool thing that Defolio could do was like
Hmm.
something called a vault deployment.
Hmm.
So there is a standard, I believe it's LSP9, which is like a vault. And again, it's just somewhere you could send your prized assets just to act as another layer of security. Again, putting some more of those customized layers. So if you want like only 2FA on your main account, but you want to go all the way up to multi-sig on your vault, you're able to do that. So then you're truly like locking that down, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, that's
And then the
actually pretty
last
dope.
Yeah, and then the last thing, which kind of like has a real example that happened recently, was I think it was that NFT trader hack that happened a while ago, like maybe a
Oh
week
yeah,
ago.
it was a phishing hack, right?
No, I thought it was like if you went and you used the DApp, they had some vulnerability then, like where if you didn't revoke the permissions, they were yoinking stuff from your account and like just selling it all at floors and stealing
Oh
stuff.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So what's cool about Defolio and about again these LSPs is they allow something called session keys. So when you sign into a Dapp, you're gonna give that Dapp specific permissions for a set amount of time. So say you want to do it for like 2 hours. You
Yeah,
can do the permissions, and then after the 2 hours, it'll revoke the access. So nothing like this can happen to you if you don't revoke the access.
man, that's a game changer. No more going to revoke.cash and making sure that these dApps don't have permission. And then, especially, on Ethereum, sometimes you got like, because like for me, I have so much like DeFi. I was going so hard in DeFi. And when I went to like revoke.cash, I had like, I don't know, I'd say like 100 dApps to like revoke. And then like each one of like, and then each transactions were like $10 at the time. So it was like,
Oh, damn.
it's adding up really quick. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna spend, a good $1,000 just on revoking access, you know,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is pretty
that's
crazy.
tough. Yeah, yeah.
One of the projects that I saw, I know you probably saw it too, was Streamgate. You see that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
That one
was
was
one
pretty
that
cool.
was looking pretty good. I was pretty excited about. It was dealing with music NFTs.
Yeah, that one really excited me too. I think Vega Genesis and his team came out with that one.
Hmm.
Um, I really liked how the fact that they're kind of bringing Luxo to the current like Web 2 kind of landscape, and
Hmm.
kind of, you know, gamifying listening to different artists on Spotify, and kind of incorporating like a UI over the top of it, and then utilizing Luxo to distribute like tokens, I guess I would
Yeah,
call them.
distribute like kind of like tokenized royalties if we simplify it a whole lot. But it's
Yeah,
actually it's actually a game changer for music NFTs, and for I mean for music in general. But for music NFTs, that's a pretty big one.
yeah, it'll definitely allow the artist to see who the biggest listeners are, and kind of reward them however they choose to, if they choose to do that.
Yeah, I think loyalty and rewards and things like that are going to be huge coming forward in the future. I think Luxo is pretty positioned well to get some of that market. And my last one that I liked was the Luxta, kind of a hub for all the dApps to kind of come together, work together, partner with each other.
Awesome.
Uh,
Yeah, I agree. I too was a huge fan of Luxta. That's kind of like a fundraise type
yeah, like a
DApp.
launch pad, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool, and Keys is actually working with Luxta, so I'm happy to hear that you enjoyed that one. That makes me really happy.
Nice, nice. Yeah. Yeah, that was something I'm like, yeah, we definitely need that. There was another launch pad that also received a grant from the hackathon, but I think Luxta was the one that I kind of settled on after looking at their socials and stuff like that. So,
Awesome.
um, so yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about this ecosystem. Is there anything else that you're excited about right now? I know there's a bunch of things going on.
Oh yeah, right now, I guess the hype is today was the Upturn Mint. That's pretty sick. That's kind of going into tokenized loyalty, kind of like imagine like a Starbucks, how they give you points. Like this
Hmm.
could be like a social version where the creator would reward people for interacting with them, and doing different things. That's pretty interesting. And then, of course, the Chill Whales Mint, the first
Yeah.
PFP collection on
Hmm.
Luxo. I mean, how could you not be hyped about Chill Whales? Did you mint any?
Yeah, I definitely minted some. I got like I was saying, I got like a couple for myself and I got some for my mom. So she's in the Chill Wells Mint. I'm gonna make her put it on her Facebook. Have everybody like wondering what's going on. But yeah, I was pretty excited for that mint. I actually minted over the last couple of days. Like the first day I minted like six, and then I gifted some. So then the next day I minted a couple more, and then I minted one this morning. When I didn't get the other mint this morning, I was mad. So I was like, I gotta mint something. Minted
I
another
feel
whale.
that's awesome. Yeah, I did too. Um, I couldn't help myself. I scooped up another two. I think they're about to mint out, so we'll get to see what we get soon.
Yeah, they're gonna sell out pretty soon. Um, So there's a lot of things on Luxo right now that could bring it hype. I know a lot of people, they just want hype, 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 right? But like on this channel, I try to preach to people like things usually won't get like the real hype, the good hype, unless they have like some good technology, some good connections. They're actually building good products that we want to use that don't annoy us. Um, so like Luxo has been, for me, Luxo has been showing, you know, signs of building this new technology, especially with the standards. If you've seen any of my previous Luxo videos, I talk about the standards a lot because it's something that the crypto space absolutely needs. Like it solves a very, very huge problem. Um, and you know, I talk about that all the time. So now that we got beef on the channel, I want to ask him about just some of the things that he sees in the projects that kind of excites him, because standard is like one thing, connections is another one, people, projects. So what are some of the other things going on with Luxo right now that, you know, like maybe technical, you know, price wise, tokenomics wise, it could be anything.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's so much. I'll kind of hit on some tokenomics stuff that I think's pretty cool because some people like to hear about that stuff. And then maybe I'll dive into their board of advisors. And then maybe I'll put on my conspiracy hat or rabbit hole hat, and then we can talk about some of the interesting things that are on LinkedIn and various other places. How's that sound?
Nice, that sounds good. Those are my favorite things, you know. Let's do it. Tokenomics,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
conspiracy theories, and
You got your foil hat on?
yeah, let's go.
All right, all right. So as far as the tokenomics, so when Luxo launched the Genesis validators, the group of random people that came together
Hmm.
to start the chain decided on 42 million LYX as the starting supply. So there is inflation, you know, the payments to the validators. But what's cool about Luxo is, again, because we have that ability to kind of cherry pick from Ethereum, we implemented EIP 1559 right out the gate. And if people aren't familiar with what that is, it is when there's enough traction on chain, there is a amount of LYX that will get burned. So we can go deflationary once we have more activity on chain. So that's super dope.
Hmm.
Um, Besides like sexy tokenomics there and 60% less supply than ETH, um, there's the foundation funds. So what's
Hmm.
cool about this is if we hit or I should say, when we hit a 2 billion market cap,
When we hit
you,
a 2 billion
yes,
market
I
cap.
mean NFA, but when, and we sustain that for 6 months, the foundation's funds will go through a smart contract, and they'll only be able to get out a certain percentage of it. So we'll actually be much less than 42 million for that starting supply. Like technically that's what
Mm.
it is right now, but once
Hmm.
we enter this new phase of that smart contract based on that market cap, it could be like 38 million or something around that.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that definitely.
Um, yeah, and then it's only 32 LYX or licks, however you want to say it, to become a validator. And like right now, the APR on it is about 8.2, and there's about 110,000 validators since the launch in about May. So as far as network wise,
Yeah,
that's really exciting. There are
huge.
some yeah, there are some different options. The Dapp node sells these really cool like home rigs you can use, which super easy software. You do need to be a little bit technical, I guess, but it's easier than starting from scratch, I guess I would say. And then there's like a liquid staking option called Liquid. They currently are not accepting deposits because they're trying to pay respect to the Ethereum based rules of kind of the amount that a certain entity should have at a given time just for the health of the network. So that's awesome that they're respecting that.
Yeah.
And there are additional liquid staking solutions coming online shortly. So yeah, I'm excited to see that distribution sprinkle out there, and I'm going to be setting up. I have not set up any validators yet. I'm dropping the ball, but I'm definitely going to do it soon.
Yeah, no, me
What about you?
too.
You gonna run
Me
any?
too. I haven't got to it yet, which is funny. It's like I remember when I was like, oh, 32, I got the 32 Luxo, and then I like cleaned off a laptop and I was like ready to go, and it's like still sitting there. And then I saw the DApp node come out, and I was like, oh, should I get a DApp node? And then I'm like looking at the laptop that I got specifically for this, and uh, and I'm like, I gotta get to it, man. I'm thinking I want to start up a couple of them, but yeah, you said there was how many validators set up right now? That was a pretty nice number.
Over 110,000.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I gotta get a validator in there for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
we're missing out.
yeah, definitely missing out on games, especially since we've been here for so long, right?
Yeah. All right,
uh,
you wanna go down the rabbit hole with me?
yeah, let's do it.
All right. Cool, cool. So then, all right. So let's talk about their board of advisors. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind that these people are here on their own accord. Just because they're there doesn't mean that for sure the companies they represent are at all involved. But it's interesting, you know.
Mm,
So yeah, there are a few that I want to highlight. First off is Dr. Bernd Hauptkorn, who is the president of Chanel Europe. Uh, that's pretty dope. And
yeah.
if you've been following Luxo at all, you've seen Karl Lagerfeld, which is not Chanel, but like the founder of Chanel,
Hmm.
heavily involved with the project. And the fact that Dr. Bernd Hopcorn is involved and on the Luxo advisor board, I would dare to say that Chanel is also interested. So
Hmm.
that'll be interesting to see if that ever materializes. Eric Frunder, again, I could be butchering his name, unfortunately has passed away, but he was a really good friend of Karl Lagerfeld's and actually documented a lot of things in Karl Lagerfeld's life
Hmm.
and took pictures and recorded this all. And they have said in the past that they're looking to put those on Luxo. To see how that kind of unfolds is going to be really exciting because there's some really cool pictures that they teased.
Yeah, that's gonna be
And
pretty
then
dope.
yeah, and then another one that I really want to highlight is this Peter Zalagi. So he's a team lead at Ethereum Foundation actually, and he's one of the biggest like dudes who work on Geth. So like putting in all those upgrades and stuff,
Hmm.
Peter knows what he's doing, and he's highly respected in the space. So that's pretty dope that he's aware of Luxo and advising.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, and then there are a couple others that I want to talk about. This is the High Snobiety founder. If you don't know what High Snobiety is, it's a really big fashion house
Hmm.
online. They have some really dope stuff. Like
Yeah.
I would love to buy things, but currently I'm I'm all in on Luxo. I
Right.
can't do.
No, no more
And then
liquidity for close.
yeah, and then a couple other guys I want to talk about are these two. So Rajiv is actually the vice president of global technology at Nike,
Hmm.
and Daniel Heath is the chief strategy and transformation officer at Nike. That's pretty cool.
That's big.
Yeah, and again, we're not saying that there are any
Yeah.
ties, but I do want to highlight some more things about potential Nike collection connection. All right, so the first thing I want to show
Hmm.
is on LinkedIn. This Eric Redmond, who is the Senior Director of Technology Innovation Office at Nike for 9 years, commented, retweeted one of Marjorie's posts and said, "It is not only about the tech, but it's about the vision. And this vision is years ahead of its time. But that was 5 years ago, and the time is now." And this was a
Ooh.
post that Marjorie posted on LinkedIn about just looking at Luxo and what's gonna about to unroll. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, those are some pretty heavy words. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
nobody's forcing him to say that. He's
Yeah.
saying this on his own accord. All right, so let's follow that up with our next breadcrumb here. So this is Andrew Schwartz. He's the director of metaverse engineering at Nike. He's constantly reposting Luxo news. Like he just posted this, and if we continue to scroll through his feed, you'll
Hmm.
see a bunch of other stuff. But one post I want to show you guys is this one. This was 4 months ago. Marjorie Hernandez is one of the most brilliant minds in business. Her visionary work is pulling the future towards us. Even if you don't follow her on LinkedIn, you're following her in the world. Marjorie. Whew,
Mm. That you're
those are,
following her in the world is like that's some crazy line right there.
dude, I'm
Like
telling you, like, come
that's
on.
Yeah, come
it's
on.
interesting.
For those who don't know who Marjorie is, like she's the co-founder of Luxo, Fabian's wife. And she's also very big into fashion and and the world is following her in the business world too, I guess.
Yes. So, yeah, so I wanted to lay that out there, and then I kind of wanted to highlight some other things that have Marjorie connections here. So, if viewers don't know, the dematerialized, or DMAT for short, is a revolutionary type of fashion powerhouse, I would say, and
Mhm.
it's built on Luxo. And what's cool about it is the NFTs that you could purchase on Dematerialized have been like on the L14, so like the very first test nets of Luxo. So all of these assets that you could get on DMAT are like OG pieces. So
Mhm.
that's super dope. But some of the companies that have like partnered with DMAT to release things, here I'll just run through them real quick. Vogue,
Mhm.
uh, White Rabbit, Rebecca Minkoff, Roberts Wood, Alexander McQueen, Artifact, Karl Lagerfeld. These are like big
Yeah,
names.
those are huge names, like in fashion
Yes.
for sure.
Yes. So the fact that Luxo kind of is appealing to these different like powerhouse fashion brands, I would say, is also really intriguing. Because what's cool about Luxo is LSP 12, I think it is,
Mhm.
allows you to see more easily who the originator is of certain NFTs. So you can verify on chain really easy who the creator is. And you don't have to guess if it's a knockoff NFT. That solves that problem completely.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes the block explorer very easy to read, so you can see, okay, this is from Chanel's universal profile, or this is from the materialized profile. That's pretty dope. And also, I love this idea because I think, like, I talk about it all the time. I think AR is like gonna be I think AR is the future on when it comes to like the next iteration of digital, what everything we do on our phones. So digital fashion, like this hoodie right here, if you're kind of wearing that walking down the street, people could see it with their AR glasses. It would be pretty sick. So it's like it's cool to just see these like early ideas like popping up on something like Luxo, which it doesn't specifically only focus on SocialFi, but it's like poised to just kind of get into that market and make it easy. So this is definitely
Yeah,
dope.
at least in my experience, the amount of different aspects of Luxo that like could be big is like it's such a long list. It sounds too
Yeah,
good to be true.
yeah, that's true.
And that's kind of the frequent problem I run into is when I kind of go through my full spiel on Luxo is like, oh man, like there's just so much good stuff that like the people just kind of look at me and be like, come on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
On
I'm
another stream,
serious.
my friend is just like, "Oh man, you're just being a moon boy." I'm like, I didn't even feel like I was being a moon boy. I was literally just talking about a couple features, and I guess it just went do, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. So,
Yeah.
bunch of exciting things coming for sure,
Yeah.
man. So possibly some drops from Nike, partners with Artifact already. Um, man, it's just so much to come. For Luxo right now. So we're still, still in this early phase. We're gonna be talking about Luxo a lot more, on this channel for sure. I'll be bringing Beef back because you guys can see he sent us down the rabbit hole with some of these things. And I didn't even check on LinkedIn for any Luxo news, so it's kind of cool. I was very big on the advisors for Luxo because they were pretty well connected, and even if these companies like don't actually drop something, on the Luxo chain, it's just nice to see that they care about Luxo enough to be bringing their experience to advise the blockchain to be successful. So it's kind of dope to see. um any closing statements from you? You got anything to say?
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate the channel. The Luxo community loves your videos, so I'm super honored to be invited on to come talk with you.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks for coming. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and we'll
yeah.
definitely have you back anytime you want.
Sounds good. Sounds good. You mind if I just plug our other channels?
Yeah, for sure. You guys go follow everything. I'll also put links in the description of this video.
Awesome. Yeah. Keys DAO on Twitter, and then Pink Pill Productions on YouTube. And yeah, and I'm Beef Banks.